Hey folks, welcome to episode 11 of Maroon Mondays Live. Immediately with the, if not the biggest stories of the week, O.J. Simpson. R. Kelly is pretty much one of the best R&B artists of our time, if not all time. Recently hit his darkest hour. Creepo pervert downward spiral. This was revealed last week when BuzzFeed published an article by reporter Jim DeRogatis called Private, of which Kelly took in young girls wishing and hoping of making it big in the music industry, them and having sex with them, among other things. Here is an anecdote of the article featuring a woman going by the name Jay, who was featured in the cult. The article is entitled, R. Kelly is holding women against their will in a quote-unquote cult, parents told the police. As the R&B legend tours the country this summer, parents have told police that R. Kelly is running an abusive cult that's tearing families apart. Three former members of Kelly's inner circle told BuzzFeed News similar stories. Here's the beginning of the article as I read this anecdote. Backstage at the Fantasy Springs Resort Casino in Indio, California on May 23, 2015, Jay was thrilled that her 19-year-old daughter's music career was going to take a major leap forward from the recording demos and performing at talent shows to the chance of stardom of an R&B superstar. When we got to go backstage with R. Kelly, we stayed there over 2 hours, said Jay. One-on-one with just me and my daughter and him. We went back to talk about the music. He listened to her CD. He was going to help her with her CD, and I was really impressed with him at first, because I always have been an R. Kelly fan. R. Kelly met in Atlanta earlier that month. Soon enough, he'd invited her to fly out to the Indio concert on his dime. Jay said she'd heard about past sexual misconduct allegations against Kelly, but wasn't overly worried. She is a fiercely devoted stage mom. She and her husband of 22 years, Tim, a car dealer, had moved from Memphis to Atlanta to help their eldest child's career, and was confident that she would protect her daughter. In the back of our minds, we were thinking my daughter could be around him if I was with her, Jay said. It didn't really hit home. Even with the Aaliyah situation, I was with her. Even with the Aaliyah situation, now I think about it, age ain't nothing but a number. But you don't think about that. You grew up with the song, and you like the song. Jay and Tim were in a desperate fight to bring their daughter home. BuzzFeed News verified holding the alleged victim's full name and her parents' last name to protect her privacy. As part of their efforts, the mother closed her businesses, became a relentless amateur detective, and shared her findings with the FBI and police in 2 states. But their daughter isn't a missing person, at least not in the eyes of the law. She still lives with Kelly, and she says she's doing fine, despite her parents telling the police that she is, quote, being held against her will, quote, in what they call a cult. 3 former members of Kelly's inner circle, Cheryl Mack, Kitty Jones, and Asante McGee, provided details supporting the parents' worst fears. They said 6 women live in properties rented by Kelly in Chicago and the Atlanta suburbs. And he controls every aspect of their lives, dictating what they eat, how they dress, when they bathe, when they sleep, and how they engage in sexual encounters that he records. The last time Jay saw her daughter was December 1st, 2016. It was if she was brainwashed. She looked like a prisoner. It was horrible, she said. I hugged her and hugged her, but she just kept saying she's in love with and Kelly is the one who cares for her. I don't know what to do. I hope that if I get her back, I can get her treatment for the victims of cult. They can reprogram her, but I wish I could have stopped it from happening. Jay and Tim say that a one-sentence text from her on Christmas Day. I hate Christmas has to be this way this year. And Jay received another text on May 14th. Happy Mother's Day from me and Ron. I'm going to put the opinion that this article came from BuzzFeed of all things aside to say that this is a very disgusting and disturbing thing that anyone can do. But this doesn't surprise me in the least because R. Kelly has been known to be a sexual deviant and a pervert towards young women. Of course, as mentioned in the article, he once married Aaliyah when she was only 15 years old and he was, say, around 25, over a decade older than her. And that song, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, yeah, that song may seem about being a woman of her own liberation or freedom or whatever, but it seems to be about a song about a creepy old man having sex with a minor. And he did write the song, appeared in the artwork cover, which really says so much. And of course, that horrifying incident in which he recorded video of him having sex with and later urinating at the face of a 15 or 14-year-old girl. If that doesn't tell you how much of a sexual creepo that R. Kelly is, then we all thought that nothing else would. That is until this scandal broke. It's just, my God, it's just disgusting. The fact that he just takes in these young women under his wing as if he was going to help them with their music careers. Like this is what, making the band or whatever? And instead of just doing that, he decides to have sex with them and control every single aspect of their lives. As much as I say I'm not surprised by all of this, it still surprises me because more than one young woman is involved in this. And they've never seen their parents ever after this. And back to Jay, I know she loves her daughter very much and wants her to have a successful career. But she should have known something would be up when she realized that her daughter was going to be involved with art. If you notice that this man is known for not only having a great music career, but also having an infamous lifestyle of being a disgusting pervert, you should have taken your daughter away. I gotta say that this is partially your fault. You knew R. Kelly was a disgusting little creepo who had sex and preyed on young girls, but it really didn't stop you from being so desperate to have your daughter have a music career. You let this man meet your daughter to her. And at the same time, you knew that he was definitely a pervert all these years. And yet it didn't stop you from being a fan of his music and letting your daughter live in places that he owns or rents and let him just do whatever he wants to satisfy sexual gratification on her. And you just stood there and cried and said, oh, my daughter was a real good girl. She was a talented young lady. I just wanted her to have a great career. And I knew that despite R. Kelly being a disgusting fucking creep, that I just let her meet him and have him take care of her as her mentor and stuff. Happened. I'm sorry, maybe not, but I'm not saying she deserves this, but if you really mentor, this is something she should have foreshadowed a long time ago. and took him into consideration. But no, she just put it all aside just to get her daughter to meet him, have sex with her for all this time. And now that her daughter was taken away from her at the time, until she may have come back, it really doesn't surprise me. What surprised me was when no. I'll get to that a little bit later. But one of his members of his cult or so later did respond to criticism and this article. Let's see. She responded to this in a very, very unprofessional way. Now, in this video from the Young Turks, I will play for you what the captive had to say. And hearing her response a bit, but then again, if someone is grooming you to say things like that, or somebody gave you like words to say, it does not surprise me. So here is the clip.
Earlier this week, there was an explosive piece written in BuzzFeed in regard to R. Kelly and how parents have alleged or accused him of as sex allegedly held captive is Jocelyn Savage, and she released a video claiming that acting, I'm here because I want to be here. Now, whether or not she's is up in the air. It's something that a lot of people are questioning, but I do want to show you two parts for yourself. Here is the first portion of that video.
That I'm in a happy place with my life, and I'm not being brainwashed or anything like that. You know, it's just came to a point where it definitely has gotten out of hand. So, you know, I just want everybody to know, everybody in the world, that I am totally fine. And everything's okay with me.
So you are not being held against your will or doing anything that you do not want to do?
Oh, no, not at all. Never been feeling hostage or anything like that in that nature. Never.
Included that R. Kelly would take their cell phones away and give them a different cell phone that they could only use with permission from R. Kelly. There were also accusations that they had to dress a certain way and, you know, turn their backs to men in the rooms so the men don't check them out. Just, you know, manipulation and control. And the thing that makes these cases or these accusations extremely difficult is these women are of age, they're not minors, and if they're saying that they're there because they want to be there, because there's consent, then about it. But R. Kelly has had a pretty dark history involving women, including having to stand trial after a video was not public. With got away with that case. But he got away with that case.
Earlier that he did record a video of him pissing on a 14-year-old girl. Now, it definitely was not a leak, and I'm not making any jokes here because yes, that was Anna Kasparian from Young Turks, and she's absolutely right. I don't know how he got away with that case. But back to the other story having here. What rubbed me up the wrong way is that she claimed that everything is okay and her parents are overreacting. Now, Now, I did say that these women are of age. I think I did say that they are minors, and my apologies for that. Uh, but what this woman said kind of rubbed me off the wrong way, because most women who claim to be grown would just act wrong when they're really just barely teenagers anymore. They want to say that everything is okay because of the fact that they're living with a rich guy who claimed to help them out in the industry. But on the inside, it seems like there was a desperate cry for help. Her body language was really rigid. She kept moving her arms, she kept moving around him, and she kept saying that everything is okay. Like she wanted to tell everything was fine. But in actuality, at least in my opinion, everything wasn't. But then again, went wrong because she really was ambiguous in her response. And the thing is, I want to feel sorry for these girls. I really do, because they didn't deserve to end up in these situations with R. Kelly because of his infamous past with sex acts with young women. Maybe they haven't heard of what R. Kelly was known for doing back in the past. But if anyone is to blame, I would say their parents, because they grew up with R. Kelly. They listened to his music on the daily. And once they watched the news and learned of his disgusting sexual exploits and the fact that he married a young girl when she was a teenager, they should have taken all of this into consideration about situations like this. Unfortunately, their daughters will be by just handing them off to R. Kelly for what seemed like the start of their futures in the music industry. So it would turn out to be yet another ploy for him to satisfy his own disgusting sexual gratification. And it's really sad, because I can understand why teenagers like them would want to become music stars, because they want the fame, they want the fortune, they want to help their family out in any way, and they want to become singers. That's what most young girls would like to do, become singers. And with people like R. Kelly, who would seem like the type of people who would help them out in any way, it would seem wonderful, but in actuality, in this case, he just happens to be someone no one should trust with this. I'm sorry for these people, these parents, because they knew what they got into, yet they let their children into it anyway. And yet, like these people, like these parents, most people are just going to turn the other way, knowing that the story is disgusting and features a singer they love, putting himself, forcing himself towards young girls for his own sexual gratitude, and they just ignore it because he makes good music. That's all it is. And that's not okay. But yeah, he makes some great music, no doubt. But I don't see the fact that he just takes young women in, grooms them, and fucks them so he can enjoy himself and that pleasure. And that's really not okay. But to the black people refusing the story and dismissing it as the white man wanting to take this black man down and destroy a black man's legacy, tell me how the hell this legacy is worth salvaging when you all knew that he's being creepy with young girls for a quick fuck and a quick illegitimate marriage. All these years ago, they are just rub it aside because of the music he made. Tell me how this is for salvaging when he's been that way for many years. And why the white man would take him down when he never did. The white man came close to taking him down during that urinating video incident all those years ago, and yet R. Kelly walked away scot-free. I will probably say because he got some damn lawyers testifying for him, defending him, but in my opinion, he deserved to get jail time. Many people deserve to get jail time for this, and he would have been one of them, but now he got away scot-free. Tell me how the white man would have taken this black man down and ruined his legacy. When this black man ruined his own legacy by fucking young girls when he didn't really need to be. And why this white man almost came down to destroy him for something he deserved to be destroyed over. Yet he didn't. By having sex with young women, and yet I don't even care. And yet y'all now surprised because of the fact that he continues to do so. Yet y'all run into no day by playing his music and saying, oh, he's just a great musician and stuff. Well, fuck off. It's one thing to enjoy this man's music, but it's another to enjoy this man's music because it's great, because I love to fuck each other too, because of the fact he's fucking young girls. And I'm this. And that's the ironic thing. He's a disgusting pervert who deserves to go to jail for his his exploits. And they're called a coon or a sambo or a tap dancer or whatever the fuck. That's weird. That's some type of allegory to slavery or whatever. If you want to ignore the side of R. Kelly, then fine. Do whatever you want. But the story about R. Kelly pops up, like, once again, revealing that he's still banging young girls. You're actually shocked about this. Bearded white man GIF look. And wonder if you guys were this slow in high school. Somebody doing something horrifying, and yet people of the same race are willing to ignore it because he's a great person of doing it. Yet when something like this happens again, they act shocked. Let me tell you, I'm not shocked. And when should I call for him to go to jail now? I feel like just finding each and every single one of you and just smacking the fuck out of you. Because it really shows how ignorant you all are, despite the fact y'all know something and I don't. Okay, another captive also said something smart as hell, ignoring her parents and saying that she's fine and wants them to stop caring about her or looking for her because, oh, she's embarrassed by this. How in the fuck are you embarrassed by this when all your parents and your family did was look for you, worry about you, and still continue to love for you? If they didn't, then you would have been worried about why they're not looking for you or caring about. This is why I can't stand women these days acting like they're grown with the really good young kids. They act like they know what they're talking about, know what they're doing and shit, and yet when things come like this, when some grown man takes you and fucks you and act like everything is okay, when it's really not, you act like something's wrong with your parents instead of with you. And every time you say something about your parents, saying that you're embarrassed by them and stuff like that, it really pisses me off because you act like you know something going into the world of adult life and stuff like that and become happy about it. Yet when things happen like this that will ruin the rest of your life, you end up shocked. It's just sad. I'm just saddened by this generation these days. They act like they're knowing stuff and happy about where life is going for them, even though it's real shady as hell. Yet once they knowing that the parents are thinking about them, they're mad because of the fact that they won't do whatever they want without the parents' permission or guidance or whatever. They act this way. No, just no. Bye, kids. Bye. Go home. Go in your rooms and go back to going on the internet, Snapchat, like whatever, and just be glad that you're not like them. So in conclusion, I'm not feeling sorry for the parents who got them into this, knowing that R. Kelly was a fucking creepy pervert. Girls who got put into this because, despite the fact that they probably have no idea on things and the like, they feel shocked about it. And honestly, R. Kelly can just go to hell because he's just disgusting. No matter if his music is good. Trapped in the Closet. He really says something in Trapped in the Closet. It turned out to be a music video that really says so much about him in real life. Story. Now, many of you have been hearing about Justine Diamond, a white Australian woman who came to the U.S. to start a new life as a yoga instructor who got shot and killed by Minneapolis police last week, despite the fact that she had called police reporting a sexual assault. And now the cop who committed the crime of taking her life has now resigned after an investigation. Now, according to Time Magazine, on Time.com, the website of Time Magazine, whatever, the Minneapolis police chief has resigned following the fatal shooting of an Australian woman by a police officer. Although he should have been fired anyway. Chief Janae Harteau stepped down Friday, just a day after making her first remarks on the death of 40-year-old Justine Diamond. Diamond was shot Saturday night by a police officer. This was last week, so don't know if that was okay. Diamond was shot Saturday night by a police officer responding to a 911 call about a possible sexual assault in the alley behind her home. From the city says Harteau quit at the request of Mayor Betsy Hodges. Harteau was out of the city in the days following after the shooting. She said Thursday she had been on personal time and was in touch with mayor's staff. The chief and Hodges had recently clashed over Harteau's appointment of an inspector in a critical precinct. Text messages between the two showed Hodges was angry over lack of notice about the appointment. Okay, that's the end of this article, and honestly, I'm not surprised by this, because hearing from this woman send text messages feeling some type of way about how she wasn't involved in the case really says so much. It was really odd how things like this just came out disorderly. Despite the fact that it all started so sad for this woman who didn't deserve to die. Unfortunately, she did. Let's get to an article about the case itself. And honestly, despite the fact that she's a white woman killed by a police officer, killed by a white police officer. From this place called World News Politics. During last weekend, a Somali Muslim cop was sent to the house of Justine Diamond. Instead of assisting her, he stayed in his car and shot her. Almost. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. This is feeling okay. But this story was really sad to me because this woman did an honorable thing of calling the police and reporting this sexual assault. And unfortunately, she ends up killed anyway. And it's by a cop who should have done the right thing by coming to her and helping her solve like this disgusting assault problem if it was alleged. But instead, he just does I really disgusting, really, how things like this just happen. The thing about it is, once the story broke, I've seen many people think that this is going to just blow up nationally or internationally. It was, and because of the fact that this woman was an Australian, that this story was picked up by Australia. It's an international story. Because while I do understand and respect where they're going, because black people would end up shot and killed by police, and many of their stories aren't picked up as fully as this story was nationally. Sad because no matter what, I'm a person who, no matter what the race, by police for no good reason. And unfortunately, things get even complicated when her family's attorney says something saying that she was the most innocent person that shot. I'll get to that later on, and that really kind of pissed me off. But back to the story from a more credible source. Number 7 W1KGNH, I think. Apologies if I got the call sign wrong, but they report from the story. Quote from Mayor Betsy Hodges, who says, "I've lost confidence in the chief's ability to lead us further. And from the many conversations I've had with people around the city, especially this week, it is clear that she has lost the confidence of the people of Minneapolis as well," she said in a statement. Justine led her to step down. Last Saturday's tragedy, as well as some recent incidents, have caused me to engage in recent incidents. Me to engage in deep reflection, she said in her own statement.
I was inspired by technology.
Phone finger that's turned on automatically. Anyway, I'm going to step aside to let a fresh set of leadership eyes see what more can be done for the MPD in the very best it can be. The very best. Apologies for if I said it wrong. Was an Australian native who moved to Minnesota in 2014 and was active in the community as a yoga and meditation instructor. This month. She called police last Saturday night. So about a near her house, police said. Police said a squad car entered an alley and recently 40 approached the driver side to talk. The officer in the passenger seat shot and killed the unarmed recent, police said. No charges have been filed, but officers have been placed on administrative leave. In her first comments on the case Thursday, Bartos said the shooting should not have happened. On our squad cars, you'll find the words to protect with courage and serve with compassion. It did not happen. And because the cop did the careless, heartless thing of taking the life of someone who not only was not armed, but was also someone who did not deserve to have their life taken away. Really pissed me off was the fact that I don't care if this person was black or white or Muslim person that served the city for the people of the city. And yet you do this. No, it wasn't. It's really disgusting. Unfortunately, things really jumped off when his attorney said something to lines of, "She was the most innocent person who was shot and killed." Let's see. I have an article around, but I can't do it. I'm just going to say this. You said that she was the most innocent man to be shot and killed. That is not only true, but it's also something that pissed me off. No, she was a person who didn't deserve to die. And he really didn't do anything wrong. But she is far from being the most innocent person to be killed. What about Philando Castile? What about Sandra Bland? What about Michael Scott? Who come at the first chance of his first neighborhood watch conflict. These people, whatever they did in their lives, despite whatever they did that may not be pure. All these people I mentioned on Earth, but they did not deserve to be shot and killed for whatever reason. Yes, Eric Garner may have sold loose cigarettes, which probably at the time wasn't illegal in New York State, but did not deserve to be choked to death by police officers right to him, and he did nothing wrong with them. It doesn't matter to me whatever race you are. As a cop, you're supposed to serve and protect the people of the city you work for. There's a chance of suspicion and conclusions. And those who think it's if they kill someone for no reason at all or no good reason, I believe they deserve their badges removed and deserve time in prison. White cops, while it's absolutely understandable, and those who did it deserve jail time, and it's unfair that they're still walking, you're all sad. If a cop's job to protect and serve someone and fails, not shoot anyone at the slightest bit of conclusion every time a pussy twitches up, then well, she didn't do anything to deserve being killed. Person to get shot by a cop. In fact, none of these cops who took the lives of these people didn't have any regard for their families or friends, only themselves. They act like they were brave and kind and wonderful. Hardest job in the world. Step into the police. And bravery, a fucking Alexander Cabot from Josie and the Pussycats. Looking condolences for the cop who did this. Then he'd go to jail. He should go to jail. What he's done. I don't care if he's Muslim or black or white or whatever. The risk of becoming a cop and not killed someone for no damn reason. He deserves to have the worst at him. I show my sympathy and condolences for the family of Justin Diamond. May they find the strength to go on and definitely irrevocable grief of losing a family member. And to everyone I've mentioned earlier, all the innocent African American people who do not deserve to have their lives taken away by these disgusting cops, if you still stand with your families. And you all rest in peace. As for the killer cop, I'm not going to mention his name. If and when he gets sentenced to prison, he can rot there, and when he dies, he can rot in hell. He seriously doesn't deserve the badge he won. He doesn't deserve it. I was going to talk about in the story. Instead, since I hate her and her family for no reasons I can explain, because of the fact they've taken policies and possibly legacy of the Obama family during Barack's presidency, I'm not going to go to the story I have planned. So I'm going to go into the last story because I'm feeling like I'm running out of time. Story to end off part one this week. It's really sad. I'd like to briefly mention is about Republican Senator and former nominee for President John McCain, who, as announced this week, has been diagnosed with a cancerous tumor in his brain. McCain, who was once a 5-year prisoner of war, had announced with his family that he had surgery to remove a tumor in his eye. And when surgery was concluded, doctors have determined that he has had a cancerous tumor in his brain. He's going to begin treatment soon. To be honest, throughout his run as never agreed with many of his policies or what from such. But he is a damn good fighter, from what I've learned about him. Throughout his service to this country as a Marine, his 5-year state as a prisoner of war, he has fought hard to protect his fellow Marines and keep his country safe from and he wants his fellow brothers in arms to get their freedom from captivity. Republican was a vice of the best. His heroic service as a Marine definitely was enough for me to speak more sympathetically about this honestly horrible thing he's going through right now in his life. I mentioned that McCain has received many politicians across the aisle Democratic adversary Barack Obama. Honestly, what he said was absolutely beautiful. He posted this tweet on Twitter, which I'll get to in a second. John McCain is an American hero and one of the bravest fighters cancer doesn't know what it's up against. Give it hell, John. His daughter, Megan McCain, also posted this beautiful statement regarding Mr. McCain, in which this reads, the news of my father's illness The news of my father's illness has affected every one of us in the McCain family. My grandmother endured the shock of the news, and we now live with the anxiety about what comes next. This is an experience familiar to us, given my father's previous battle with cancer, with the countless American families who have whose loved ones are also stricken with the tragedy of the disease and the inevitability of age. If we could ask anything of anyone now, prayers of those who would understand, we would be grateful for them. In all of this, the one of us who's the most confident and calm is my father. He is the toughest person I know. The cruelest enemy could not break him. Life could not bend him. So he's meeting this challenge as he has every other. In ways, it will not make him surrender. Nothing ever has. However, I cannot and do not wish to be in a world without him. Yet even in this moment, my fears for him are overwhelmed by one thing above all: gratitude for years together. And the years, he is a warrior at dusk, one of the greatest Americans of our age, heir to his father's and grandfather's name. He is something more. He is my strength, my example, my refuge, my confidant, my teacher, my rock, my hero. This is the most beautiful thing I may have heard from anyone regarding their father having such a heartbreaking sickness in them. I would agree with most of the time either, but she did have a beautiful, beautiful statement. Um, Here's President Orange. No, sorry, this is something. So President Trump issued a statement that McCain, quote, has always been a fighter, and that he and Mrs. Trump spoke. Send our thoughts and prayers to Senator John McCain, Cindy McCain, his wife, and their entire family. We know the things he said to once before, but that is kind of sweet, really, coming from him. And back to Barack Obama. These two fought for the presidency back in 2008. And I think I remember seeing a video of him saying something honestly nice about Obama before. And it really says a lot there. Here. And again, I mean, if you got cancer, it's going to be inevitable that many people say something very sweet about you. But when I watched that video, it made me realize the divisive policies throughout his presidency. But he does have a heart in the right place. Because of the fact that he was the Marine who fought very hard to protect the freedom of his fellow Marines. A whole, because even though I don't like Republicans very, very much, there are very few Republicans that I respect the most, and he's definitely one of them. So, Kane, I wish you the very best in treatment, and I hope you will survive this battle. Hard during the war, a war. And I'm definitely believing that you're going to fight this cancer battle just as hard. I salute you, sir. Okay, this episode of Rule Mondays Live, I'll be back with part 2 soon. Live, this will be a little while. So, if you're not watching, thank you for watching. Have a great week ahead. Enjoy yourselves, and if you like what you saw here, please leave a comment. Please hit like. And don't forget to click the bell if you want to be notified for future episodes. And don't forget to check me out on the blog site. That's maroonmondays.blogspot.com. There are a few other things to do, so check out the website. Please follow me on Facebook and Twitter. That's at Maroon Mondays on both sites. I really appreciate you all watching, and soon for part 2. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon. I'm Andrew, and I'll see you around.